This conference will now be recorded.
Hello. 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 Okay. Hello all. Welcome to the next session on SAP ABAP. The last class we have discussed, last few classes we have discussed about what exactly the SAP and what is ABAP, and so what are the some of the fundamentals in ABAP. We have seen what exactly the uh, write statement and uline statement and villain statement and the coloring of your output statement. Maybe so we have some break. Maybe we will revision what exactly the SAP, and SAP stands for systems applications products in data processing, and it's a one of the ERP software. Not only a small ERP, it's in a big ERP software, and which supports almost 60 plus 64 plus modules. Modules means here like sales and distribution, finance and controlling, and material management, and quality management, and HR, human resources, and we have SRM, CRM, okay, quality management and plant maintenance, production planning. Like this, we have almost 64 plus modules, and also it supports 26 LOBs, 26 line of businesses like real estate, automobile industry, telecom industry, and manufacturing industry, and pharma industry. There are different kind of industries we have, and 26 industries it is going to support. And SAP is an R3 architecture, and also it follows the architecture R3. R means it's in a real time, and 3 means it's three-tier architecture. We have presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. And if you want to access your SAP applications, we are going to use SAP GUI, graphical user interface. It's in a software. Let's example, same like your browsers. If you want to access your web applications, we are going to use the browsers. And if you want to access your SAP applications, we are going to use the SAP GUI, guys. So that's the name SAP R3 architecture. We have presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. With the presentation layer, we can access the SAP applications. All your ABAP programs will run in the application layer, and database layer we are going that is an ABAP. ABAP is a technology in the SAP, and which is a programming language for the entire SAP. So everything is built by using ABAP programming language. ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. It's a very easy any program. It's not only ABAP, any program, CR, C++, Java, or JavaScript, Node.js, any programming language. And there is a formula, guys. So the formula is what exactly the input, and what is the processing logic, and what is the output, and what is the database. First, we are going to talk about the output. What exactly the output, what kind of statements we have in the output by using ABAP programming language. And also, before you build the ABAP programming language, there are some fundamentals or some thumb rules. So every above statement must end with the period, and every literal or text should be um, uh, keep it in the single quotes. And also ABAP is in a case sensitive. You can write uppercase or lowercase, no, not a problem. And ABAP is in a space sensitive. That means for every word or every operator, you should be having in a space. If you don't give the space, it will give a syntactical error. And also you need to save the program by using Control S. You need to do a syntax check, Control F2, and you need to activate the program. Whenever you activate the program will be saved in the database. And if you want to execute the program, we are going to use the F8 guys. So guys, there is a naming conventions for SAP programs and as well as the custom programs. Okay, if it is an SAP program, so you should not touch it guys. So you are not supposed to change the SAP existing program, but there are some provisions. We can do the alters, but directly you should not change it. And so how do you find out whether it is in a custom program you have developed the program, or SAP has given the that ready-made program? So if there is a naming convention, if any program or if any object starts with A to X, the first letter A to X, it's an SAP program. And if the first letter starts with Z or Y, that means it's a custom program. Custom means in your company, your developers are developed. That's a custom program. And these are some of the basic thumb rules of an ABAP. If you keep remember these fundamentals, then you can easily build the ABAP programs. Yeah, default SAP Pro. Yeah, standard means default programs. Standard program both are same. Yes. What is that? Correct. You can start with the Z or Y. Yes, that's it. So default program, or I can say it's a standard. I always use standard instead of default. I will use always standard SAP standard program. Okay. So that's the difference between the naming conventions between Z and Y and A to X, guys. Then also we have seen the in SAP GUI, when you open with the user ID and password, you see the first screen, the SAP GUI screen, and we have menu bar, we have command field, we have the standard toolbar, and we have this is a title bar, and this area we call it's in a main area. It's in a status bar, guys. This is the screen which we have seen in the last class, and also the outputs to build any ABAP program in SAP. So we are always use the transaction code, T codes. The T code here is SE38 is a T code, guys. SE38 is the transaction code. With the transaction code, you can directly access the SAP ABAP programs or applications and write. So this is the keyword to output the data. Suppose if you want to output the data, we are going to use the keyword is the write. If you want to draw an underline, we are going to use the U line. If you want to draw a vertical line, we are going to use a V line. And if you want to put in a colors, we are going to use the format color. And if you want to off the color, we are going to use the format off the color. And skip is you are going to skip. So how many lines you need to skip the output, guys? These are some of the basic output statements. And also we have discussed about the data types. In the last class we have discussed some of the data types, what exactly the character, what exactly the numeric, integer, date and time. And today we are going to extend those things, and maybe one is the character which we have taken in the yesterday example, and also we have an integer. So with this we can store the only numbers. Okay, we can store the only numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, guys. And also we can store both the things. We can store both positive and negative numbers. We can store both the positive and negative numbers, guys, like okay 34 or minus 34. So you can save both the things. I can store the 34, I can store the minus 34. Both the things we can store it. So that's an integer concept, and where it is. Okay, where is our table here? Okay, it's gone. Okay, what I will do is writing the table in the PPT is little difficult. So what I am going to do is I am going to draw in a table in the Excel. Okay, so take the table and just keep some table format. Okay, okay. So maybe this is my uh, data type and some comments and default uh, length and default value. And maybe first we have seen it's in a character kind of data type, and it's in a we can store alphabets, uh, numbers, special characters. I think from girls, some of the girl is absent today. I think 4 members, right? Yeah. So someone is absent. We can show the number special characters, and default length for the character is 1, and default value is space. Okay. And also the ID, the type we are going to use is a, I can say it's in a type is C, guys. Character is C. Next one is the integer, and it's in a I, and we can store both. I will give in only one sentence. We can store both the positive and negative numbers. Positive numbers, and the default length is, and it will store like this case plus, sorry, first minus some value 2, some 3, 4, 5. So there is a value. Exactly, I didn't remember that value. It's in a big number, and maybe I will go to SAP. I will give it that length. Uh, Data type and F for search for predefined data type. Uh, so you can see, so there are different integer 1, integer 2, and integer 4. That will start. If it is an integer 1, it will store from the numbers 0 to 255, guys. So if it is an int 1, if you take integer 1, okay, it will store the numbers max 0 to 255. So if you want to store 256, it doesn't store it, guys. So that's an integer 1. And next one is integer 2, and it will store from minus 32,768 to the minus 32,768, 768 to 32,768. And int 4, it's an integer 4, it will store minus 2147 47 2147 48 48 364 8 8 to It's a positive number. Next number is, this is the negative number and to the positive number. So it will take this case. And whenever it is an integer, default value is 0, guys. So suppose if you don't assign any value, the value is in a default, the value is 0. Here also character, the default length is 1 and the space is the default value. Suppose if you don't assign any value, it will be in a space case. So that's an integer. Next we have numerics, and the type is n, and we can store only positive numbers. We can store only positive numbers, and the default length is I think numerics default length is, I think, space. Little doubt, guys, 0 or space, but the default default length is 1 and value is, default value is 0, I think. Okay, this is a name, a numeric character, and we have date. So which is an important, guys, very very important. Let's take an example of, in India, what is the date format, guys? How many ways we can do in a date in India? So maybe what is the today's date? Maybe 21 month, right? And also 2019. So one user follow like this, but another user follow like this. 21, the separator is changed. Here I can say it's in a separator. Here slash is the separator. Here the period is the separator. Maybe someone use even hyphen also. 2019. It's all user required formats. It's user choice, right? So maybe if you go to the US, and they will change first they will keep the month and they will put the date, and they use the like this case. Some other country, the data will be like this: 2019 and 11 and maybe 21. Some other countries, they use this format case. So it's all user required and the country based specific format. Suppose in SAP, to handle this, so for based on the user, based on the country, we need to convert the date into the different formats, right? So to give the unified solution for the date format, so the SAP doesn't save the date in the, by using separators, it doesn't save. It will separate, it will save in this format, y and mmdd. So this is in a fixed format. Suppose if it is a today's date, the system date is like this: 2019 11 21. That's it. So it's based on your user settings, and based on your user country, the data will be displayed automatically, guys. But in the backend, in the database level, it will store like this. Here is in a 2019 11 and 21. But if the Wasim opens up from India, it will display in Indian format, maybe 21 11 dot 2019. Okay, if Frank opens from the America, it will open 11/21/2019. Guys, it's all based on user format and country specific format it is going to display. But the unified solution for the date format is the, so YYYMMDD. So what is the length of this, guys? What is the length of this? 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 Can anybody tell what is the length of this? What is the length of this, guys? How many characters? 8 characters. That's in a length, right? So Y year 4, it's a fixed month 2 only, 01 to 12, and a date 01 to the 31st, right? So 2 characters plus 2 characters plus 4. The length is the 8 characters. But when it is in a display, how many characters? If it is in an internal format, it's in a 8 characters. But when you display the date, definitely what you are going to display? Are you going to display like this, the date? No. Definitely you are going to keep in a separators. So how many separators we can keep here? How many? 2. So external display format, or I can say external format. What is the maximum length then? 10 characters, guys. This is the logic which you need to understand for the date. It's in a special. So The date will be stored in the internally YYYY, MM, and DD. And based on the user format, we are going to convert the date into the uh, to the display format, and the display format will be changed based on the user and user country, guys. So that's a name date format, and I'm going to keep that in the here date. So it's an a D, the type is, and comments are we can store the date in internal format YYYY MM and DD, guys, not yeah. So this is the uh, sorry, this SAP stores uh, right. So it's in a date format, and the default length is 8, and default value is, if you don't assign any value, it will be in a 8 zeros. 4 zeros for the year, 2 zeros for the month, and 2 zeros for the your day, guys. So that's a default length for the date. And the next one is, so in the same way, we have a time and t, and we can store the time in internal format. Now anybody can tell how exactly the time will be stored in the database. Huh? Hours, minutes, and seconds, guys. That's it. So now you tell me, so what is the maximum length? 6. And output length is, okay, if you don't assign any value, it's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, it comes as a 0, 0. And that's the thing, guys. The external date format, we are the hours. So HH, MM, SS, maximum is 6, but output length is 8, guys. So how you can display the hours? 12. What is the time now? 9:20, right? So 0, 9, 22, guys. Maybe AM, PM we'll see later, but this is the time. And maybe seconds, maybe 30 seconds. So how many separators we have? 2 separators and 6 characters. Total it becomes an 8. This is a display format of the time, guys. That's a display format of the time. So this is the some of the characters. CNDT. CNDT. It's a character type data formats, and we have integer is in a different kind of format, guys. So this I can say. Next one is we have in a string, guys. Okay, it's in a type of string, and so we can store variable length fields, variable length fields, and default length is, okay, it's a variable, and the default value is space, guys. So I cannot, we cannot say what is the length of the variable length for this. And maybe what we can do is, so what exactly, how the value will be stored is, if it is in a string, so maybe sometimes I can say I need to declare in a field like my name is, okay, okay, Shiva. And so how many characters, guys, here? My name is Shiva. How many characters it is? Can anybody tell? Here, how many characters it is? Huh? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even space also one character. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, you calculated only Shiva, right? So that's it. That's the thing. But total is 16. Okay, maybe I have my one more name. My name is, okay, Veera Venkata Satya Narayana Razu. Hmm? Veerappa Neni. This is the name. Okay, some of the names we can see in West and East Godavari. So tell me what is the length over here. Okay, So my name is Veera Venkata Satyanarayana Raju Veerapaneni. So maybe this is some of the length around. Okay, I didn't calculate 80 around. Okay, I didn't calculate. Approximately it will be the 80. So suppose it's an I don't know, the name is in a dynamic. Okay, so in this case I don't know exactly what is the length of the field actually. So that kind of times I'm going to use the string guys. It takes the 16 characters, it takes the 80 characters, and suppose if you inject the value like this. Okay, so I don't know what is the length of this. I don't know what is the length of this. I don't know what is the length of this. I don't know what is the length of this. Maybe the total length around here equal to the 1000 characters. So it will take guys, the string will take the value, this total value it is going to store it guys. That's the name string. uh, it will take beyond 1000 as well. Okay, so maybe if it is beyond thousands and all, we are going to take long kind of text case. We'll see that. So it's first we'll discuss the fundamentals, then that's and all. Okay, then that's in a deep level. We have to deep dive those kind of things. Huh? So first is it's in a basic things I am talking. So this the string is in a variable kind of data type, and if you don't know what exactly the value of the your field, we are going to use in a string guys. So these are some of the basic fundamentals. And also in the same way we have x string. Okay, it's an x string, x x string, and which is used to store binary data. Binary data, you know, right? 0 comma 1. So you have read in your uh, in our mathematics in your childhoods 0 1 0, right? And also to store to store images, PDFs, we use binary formats. And the default length, even I don't know what exactly the default length for this. It gives total lot of values case. It is going to take a lot of values. So there is no default length and default value. But normally we use it for the X strings for the binary data. And if you want to upload the images, your image, so we are going to use the binary format. And also file system also, most of the times we are going to use the PDF is in a binary format. Okay, so that kind of things we are going to use in a X string. And also we have one more important is the uh, packed decimals. Packed decimals, it's in a type of P. Okay, so we use this for the price and quantities guys, and price and quantities. And suppose my price is, let's example, okay, 355 rupees, means I will put like this 355.0000 is an decimals. That's why we call it in a packed decimal. Normally we use for the uh, quantity and currency fields guys, quantities. Even quantity also we can calculate in the decimals, right? So quantity maybe what I can take, so 1.5 kilo. So 1 kilo, 1 kg plus 50 and 50 sorry 500 grams, so 1.50 kg. So here the decimals also will have a lot of importance. That's why we use the packed decimals. Even normally if it is in a rice and all, there is not that much value for the decimals. But when you go to the gold shop, so very valuable guys, the decimals are very valuable, right? So grams also in a valuable. And 10 grams, what is the 10 grams, 10 grams is too costly, right? So maybe if, even the milligrams also calculated in the gold shop guys. So that's the name. Very important is the quantity and currency fields. We are going to use the packet decimals, and by default the value is 00 like this. If you don't assign any value, it will come with 0.00. That means 0 and 002 decimals as an a by default guys. The default value and default, sorry guys, default length is 16 and default value is 0.00 guys. Maybe I can make this format cells. It's as an Okay, it takes like 0.00 guys. So this is the packet decimal, and also we have floating point. The type is F, and normally to encrypt and decrypt the values, we use floating point guys. It will display like this. Just now you have seen, right? So in Excel, if you go here somewhere, I put, yeah, yeah, you can see here. So you didn't see exact value. It is adding in a plus symbol. It is encrypted actually. That value is encrypted. And also, whenever let's take an example of, so whenever you receive a message from the bank, so your xxx comma xxx comma xxx comma 4326, there is a debit from your bank account. So last 4 digits you are going to get it, but other 12 digits it will be, the value is encrypted guys. So this kind of things we are going to use the floating point as a data type guys. So that's a floating point data type. So we have these different kind of data types, and maybe this is the different kind of data types guys. So that's it. Delete, control C. Yeah, so that's it guys. So these are different kind of data types we have in the ABAP. So maybe, so we'll see in the last class we have seen some of the integer and with the arithmetic operations, right? And today, so we see the other data types, how exactly the character works, how exactly the numeric works. That we are going to see in today's class, guys. And maybe go to the SAP, and this is the SAP screen. And whenever, if you want to access your SAP applications, so we need to have an SAP GUI. So this is the SAP GUI screen, and here you have to configure the your SAP servers, and I have different servers, 4 servers, and in that I have one S4HANA server, and go to the S4HANA server, and if you want to access that server, double click on it, and you should be having a user ID and password. Like your Gmail application, you need to have a user ID and password. Even SAP also you need to have a user ID and password. Once you come to the screen, you see the menu bar and command prompt and the standard toolbar. It's in a title bar. It's in a main area. And if you want to build ABAP programs, the transaction code is the SE38. And also here you have seen the one program. Every your program. See, this is, we are developing the program. That's why I start my program with the Z guys. And if you don't, if it is an SAP, so you don't see that Z guys. That's the difference between SAP standard or default program or your custom program. And yesterday we did this program and go the change, and we did a simple arithmetic operations with addition of two numbers guys, addition of two numbers. And also guys, if you see here, so data and data, so data and data and data guys, 3 times you are writing the same code, you are repeating 3 times, same code you are repeating 3 times, and no need to do that guys. So you can delete it, and you can delete it, and instead of, if you want to group same same number of statements into single statement, you need to use the colon symbol guys. So you need to group it. So here also you have used data, here also you have used data, here also you have used data. If you want to group the 3 statements, put one data and keep in a column. And so still the statement is completed guys? No. If it is not completed, do you use the period? No. Actually, even in English also, it's an English like language. Suppose there is a statement you are writing, so you use the comma, not the, okay. And after end of your statement we use the period guys. In the same ABAP also we have same, we have the we have more uh, data type, data objects, and use this comma, and in the end you need to use a period. That's it. So this is the grouping of the same kind of statements. I have grouped the same kind of statements into the single statement. If you want to group them, you need to use a colon, and end of each you need to put in a comma in the and the total in the statement. And so it's total is in a statement it becomes. So in the statement and you need to put in a period, guys. So that's the name, data objects. And also, guys, so this is in a data types, and when you define with the data, this becomes a data object, guys. So that data objects will have a memory allocations. So in the runtime execution, data objects will have a memory allocations. So data types like integer, characters, numerics doesn't have any memory allocations when you execute the program. And if you want to store the values in the runtime execution of this program, we need to have a data object, guys. Very, very important, data object. And whenever you execute this program in the runtime execution, you need to store this value, right? X equal to 5, y is equal to 6. If you want to have if you want to store these values, we need to have a memory allocations. So the data object will provide the memory allocations, guys. The data type provides, and what kind of data you are going to store in the data object, it's in a reference. The data types are reference to the your data objects. That's what we have discussed about data type and data objects. So maybe somewhere we have discussed what exactly the data type. And data type doesn't have any memory allocation in the runtime environment. These are only used for the reference purpose, and it provides a technical attributes of a data object. Data object provides a memory allocation in the runtime environment. Whenever you execute, guys, that's in a runtime environment, and we can store the data by using data objects. And to define a data object, the keyword is the data, guys. So this is my data object, and this is my data is my keyword. And here this is what stored the value in 5 x object. I stored the 6 in the y object, data objects, and I did a calculation x plus y, that 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 value I have stored in the z data object, guys, and printing the z value in the output. Okay, that's it, simple. And maybe it's an arithmetic operation. Maybe this operation, what you call, guys, what you call this operation? Okay, it's maybe I can call this addition of two numbers, right? So maybe just I am putting in a text, guys. I don't want to execute this code, guys, so I put some text. It's not a code. Suppose when I do the syntax check, it will give the syntax error. Why? Because it's not a code, it's not a ABAP code. I put in some text. And if you don't want to execute this text, and you need to comment the code, guys, commenting of the code. See, I put in a comment of the code. See, so SAP ABAP is not considering this is not code, it's in a text. It is considering it's in a text, guys. So this is in a commenting of in a code, guys, commenting of in a code. So it's all ABAP thumb rule concept. Sorry, I forgot this concept in the thumb rules. Hmm. So to comment 10th thumb rule, to comment the code, the first character starts with star. The first character of the line. See, the first character of the line is the star. Star means it's in a commented code. But normally we don't put the star, and there is a shortcut, key shortcut. So the key shortcut is control plus. If you use less than, it's comment. And if you use CTRL, control plus greater than, it's an uncomment, guys. Control plus less than is a comment code, and control plus greater than control plus sorry mm, greater than what happened here. Mm. Okay, control plus less than is in a comment, control plus greater than is in a uncomment. Okay, we'll see now. Greater than, so uncommented, maybe it is uncommented, I need to comment it, control less than commented, control greater than uncommented, control less than commented, control greater than uncommented, control less than commented, guys. So very important this is also, because we will write we will comment and comment uncomment the codes, guys. Sometimes, so a business user will come, he will explain the functionality, he will develop some code, a 500 lines of the code, and he thinks after some days, actually my business scenario is different, so I don't want this code to be executed, and my scenario is changed. So are you going to remove all the 500 lines of code which you have developed? Don't remove it, guys. So we never believe the business. Okay, again we comment the code like this, the code will not be executed, but after 20 days he will come back. So there is a risk with the new functionality, I need to go back to the previous functionality. So if you delete your previous functionality, again you need to write the 500 lines of the code, right? So maybe instead of that, what you will do, you will comment the present code and uncomment the previous code, guys. So that's the name way, that's the way we are going to work it in the real time. So this functionality also very important, how to comment the code, how to uncomment the code. Let's take an example of, I don't want this code, sorry, control j, so I don't want of this code, I'll put, okay, shift up and down arrows. Okay, so shift down arrow, it will come down, and shift up arrow, it will go to the up, guys. So this is also one of the technique. So maybe I am going to, I am selected all the code, and control less than commented, right? Maybe after some times I need to uncomment the code base. That's the name. Very important, control less than and control greater than. So to comment and uncomment the your code. So maybe this is my code, and it's just I have given addition of two numbers, guys. So this is my addition of two numbers. Maybe I would like to do subtraction. Don't bother about the spelling, to numbers, and which is equal to the z equal to the x minus y, and maybe write the result and write it's in a z, right? Next, the see multiplication of two numbers, and so which is an z equal to the x into star. See, multiplication is star, guys. So there is no into symbol, the multiplication symbol in the keyboard. So the star is the multiplication thing, guys. So you will not be having any, okay, multiplication symbol like mathematics we use this, right? But in the computer it will understand with the asterisk. So star is the, okay, multiplication symbol. And also you see the division of two numbers. Yeah, so we need to write output the data z, and it will replace, guys. So here actually the addition is value z. Whenever you do the subtraction, the old value will be replaced with the new value. So whenever you multiply, the old value is replaced with the new value, guys. Even the replacement is also possible. You can assign the values, you can replace the values, and the division of two numbers is z equal to x divided by y. That's it, guys. So pretty printer, and yeah, so we have to do the right right z. Okay, see 11 and minus 1 30 and 1 guys. Why minus 1? uh, 10 9, what the value I have given? 5 6, correct. 5 6, 5 plus 6 11, 5 minus 6 is the minus 1 guys. See, integer takes the negative values as well. And also 5 into 6 30, and 5 by 6. Okay, what is the 5 by 6? Can anybody tell what is the 5 by 6? Calculator. Huh? 0.6768 ja 48, 0.8 something. Okay, but so it is equal to the, right, rounding of concept guys. In mathematics there is a round off concept. So when you do the round off, if it is in a less than zero point 0.5, it will consider as an a 0. If it is greater than zero point 0.5, it will consider as an a 1. Here also same concept, 5 by 6, zero point 0.8, it's an a greater than zero point 0.5, it will do in a round off as 1 guys. That's why it is printing as an a 1 1. So that's a round off concept. And you can see integer will round off guys. So integer doesn't have any decimals. So integer doesn't have any decimals. Since it is in a zero point 0.8, it is rounding off to the 1. If it is in a less than zero point 0.5, it will round off to the 0 guys. There is no decimals. But if it is in a packed decimal, it will display the uh, decimals. That's anything. But one observation you did here. So everything is displaying in a same line. I would like to display in the new lines guys. So how can you display the everything is in a new line? Is just simple. You need to use slash. The first one is, yeah, you can use also first one slash and slash, and put in a slash. That's it. Put in a slash and activate now and execute. Now you can see everything in the new line guys. Slash indicator indicates you have to print in the new line guys. That's an arithmetic operations. And also the grouping. See, the grouping also you did by using colon is the grouping keyword guys. That's an arithmetic operations. Maybe I am going to use one more. It's a name z xyz. Maybe it's my cz. Maybe I, instead of xyz, I use the result guys. So result type C. One more characteristic character type, data type. I am going to use the character. So what I am going to do is my result type C, and maybe I will pass the value of z. After I do the addition, I use the cz, and which is equal to the z. See, so I am calculating the value. After I calculate the value, and I am transferring to the another data object. Another data object. Equal is the assignment operator. In the mathematics, it's an assignment. Even in ABAP also, it's an assignment operator. And activate, uh, edit some errors. Why there is an error? CZ field is unknown. So I have used, okay, result guys. It's not a CZ. Sorry, first I put CZ. It's a result. So because the data object I not yet defined, that's why it's giving an a syntax. And now result is there, and now we can execute guys. So edit again, and the statement equal is okay, correct. So what happened? Okay, I printed the result in the below, correct. Control, okay, do the syntax check. Yeah, space, okay, you are following the above thumb rules. Very good, very nice. So that's what I am expecting. Okay, so activate your program guys. So this is the thing. So that's why if you know the above thumb rules, very it's very important guys. You can easily write the above programs. Okay, so don't, you will not be fear, you will not get any fear to write any program. But if you don't have this kind of fundamentals, this kind of rules, so you will write something and you will get a syntax error. You will not follow how exactly you have to write the code, right? So these are simple things. If you know this, you can write easily guys. The keywords, just you need to remember the first keyword, that's it. Okay, not that much difficult. And here we are going to guys, I'm going to do an activation. Now I am going to execute my program, guys. Execute, and 11 1 minus 31, guys. Maybe when I transfer the value of, okay, that's not a problem. So my worry is, so that is an integer. I am passing the integer value to the character. It is taking, but when I do this, maybe result, my result is called character, guys. I do something. Okay, my name is Shiva, and so I am going to reverse the value, maybe uh, Z, and which is equal to the result. See now what will happen. Okay, pretty printer, do the syntax check and activate, and now you see the result, and it goes to the dump, guys. See, so why it goes to the dump? So dump, short dump, this is a short dump of a ABAP program. If you see any errors, functional errors, technical errors, not syntactical errors, functional errors, data errors, okay, the behavioral data and technical and functional error, business errors, it will give a dump. Okay, short dump. Okay, which is very important. So how you can, why it's going for an error, guys? So SE38, and I don't know, I'm not sure how to correct this and how to find out the error, guys. And also I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to debug the program flow of this ABAP program. How do you debug the ABAP program? Okay, so if you want to debug an ABAP program, so it's very important, guys, debugging. So now onwards we are going to introduce the debugging concept. Okay, so debugging is very important in any, not only in ABAP, in any programming language, the debugging concept is there, guys. So debugger, what is ABAP debugger, guys? With the debugger, what you can do it, hmm? We can see the program flow, exactly what exactly the flow of your program execution flow, I can say. Okay, not program flow, program execution flow. And we can track the errors, and we can see the runtime values of data objects, and also we can change the runtime uh, values of the data objects, and lot of things we can do with the debugging, guys. So in ABAP also we can do a lot of things, and maybe, so if you want to do the debugging, okay, if you want to do the debugging in ABAP, there are many ways. So that, how many ways we can debug the program is, one is you can put in a static breakpoint, guys. One is the static breakpoint you can use, and you can keep in a breakpoint, static breakpoint. Okay, the second one is the dynamic breakpoint. And so the two things we can do, another one is the slash h, slash h. So this is also, it will enable the debugging mode, guys. So three ways we can do it. We can put in a static breakpoint, we can put in a dynamic breakpoint, and there's one more thing in the slash h in the command prompt. So you can put in a slash h on the command prompt, and you can enable a debugging. Maybe, so what I am going to do is, so I put in a first static breakpoint, guys, means, so I write in a code like this, breakpoint. That means the program stops here, the execution stops here, guys. See, so now execute this. So it will stops here, it will go in a debugging mode. See, guys, it goes in a debugger mode, guys. It's a debugger. It's in a debugger screen. ABAP. See, you can see the title ABAP debugger. It is in a debugging mode. So suppose if you want to execute line by line, so it stops here. The program execution stops in the at the breakpoint. So what exactly the breakpoint? So uh, where the program execution stops, but it's a fixed breakpoint. Always it will stop at this code. Wherever you put in a static breakpoint, it's in a fixed breakpoint, it will stop over there only, right? So that's an a static breakpoint, guys. So you need to write in a syntax like, so syntax is, so you have to write break hyphen point point. So dynamic breakpoint is in a different breakpoint, guys. So maybe, so the program stops over here, but I need to execute the remaining. See guys, the program stops at what line? 13th line. And if I want to execute the remaining lines 16, 17, 18, so remaining lines, so you need to perform some function keys, guys. F5. So here you can see there is an F5, or else here you can see there are some steps. And first step is single step F5. Single step F5 means it will execute line by line. See, I will perform an F5 now, F5, and it goes to the next line. See, and now you can see, guys, my data object is X. So click on X, and what is the default value of the X, guys? What is the X type? What is the X data type? It's a data type of I, integer. Integer means if you don't assign any value, what is the default value? Yeah, integer means if you don't assign any value, what is the default value? 0. Why? Because you have assigned the value, but the code is not yet executed, guys. See, if you see the cursor, the cursor is at 16th line. The 16th line is not yet executed. When this line is executed, then the value, the 5 will be assigned to the X. The value 5 will be assigned to the X. See, now the value is default value 0. Now if I want to execute this statement, what I have to press? If I want to execute this statement, what I need to press? I need to press an F5, and when I press F5, it will execute the current line. It goes to the next line. See, it executes the current line, it goes to the next line. Now the data object value X value will become an 5, guys. And now, so in the same way, Y also, Y, and enter, and Y value initially 0. When I execute it, the Y value becomes a 0. And Z value, see, I can see the values, the runtime execution values now. See, there is a runtime execution value in the debugging mode. I can see it, and the Z value, the addition is not yet performed. So when I execute this, the Z value will become an 11. So it's a debugging, guys. You can see the program flow. So the program execution flow, you can see in the debugging. So from first program, you need to practice the debugging, guys. So if you practice the debugging from the first program, and you will be in a very good position after some days. And if you don't do that, just if you simply execute, if you see the result 5, 6, 11, and if you satisfy, okay, it doesn't enough, guys. You will not get anything. And do the debugging, press F5, and see the value, and what is the value, and observe the how the ABAP is working, how the technology. So what exactly the technology, then you are going to get a very good subject. Otherwise, just if you see the output, you will not get anything, guys. Okay, so just don't satisfy with the output, and if you get the output and do the debugging once, so step by step, line by line, you need to debug it. From here only we are going to start the debugging. Very fundamentals, for very basics, you should know. And now my value Z equal to 11, guys, and my result, which is in a what kind of field, guys? The result is what kind of field it is. And go to here, it's a type of character field, guys. So character takes alphabets, numbers, and special characters. That's why no problem. So F5, Yes, it takes an a star, maybe, yeah, it's an integer. It will take the integer, no problem. But now what I am doing, I am assigning the result to the character now. So my name is, why guys, it is giving me only M. My name is Shiva. It is giving me M. Why? Why it is giving me M? Why it is giving me M? Why it is giving me M? A result type C, and if it is in a character C, and we can say alphabets, number, special characters, and but the default length is 1, guys. So the default length is 1. So it doesn't, if you just declare in a type C, the length is 1. That's why it's taking, that's why it's taking, my name is Shiva, the first character is M, it is storing the M, guys. And if you want to have an extended length for the character format, you need to extend it with the length, guys. So that's the concept for that. So the debugger tells you the what exactly the flaw and what exactly the error, and maybe I can change the program and I will give the length. So if you want to give the length, guys, immediately after the data objects, and open the parenthesis and put inside, maybe my name is Shiva, maybe I will put around like 40 characters. Okay, just I am giving an approximate value 40 characters. Then later I will change to the proper data type, and result 40 characters I have given. And maybe guys, see, when I execute again, the program stops at what place? 13th, guys. But I know how exactly it will work up to this statement. Why again I need to debug from this point? So it's in a fixed, it's in a static breakpoint, guys. So don't use the static breakpoint. So delete it. So wherever you want, if you want to put in a breakpoint, we use the dynamic breakpoint. You see, until here I know what exactly my program flow. No need to debug again from here to here. Just have to put in a breakpoint. See, guys, here you can see there are two kinds of breakpoints. So these two are into the dynamic breakpoints, and use this symbol, guys. Select the line, use this symbol. A breakpoint is set, and when I execute the program, so where is the next breakpoint? 23rd line, guys. So the program execution stops at the 23 line, guys, and execute. And now you can see the program is stopped. You can see the cursor, the program is stopped at the 23rd line. And when I execute this statement, now you can see result, and click on the result. My name is Shiva, yes, because it's an almost 16 characters, but my result field is either having a 40 characters, no problem, it will store it. But result is in a character type, but Z is in a integer type. Z is in an integer type. So integer means it will store only the numbers. Is it store the characters, the integer? No, guys. So when I execute this statement, it will go for the dump. So my name is Shiva is cannot be interpreted as a number. So you cannot store the characters into the integer values. That's why it's giving a dump, guys. That's not possible. SE38 and change. Don't store the characters in the integers. So you are deviating the functionality, guys. So this functionality I don't want to now, guys, and that's why I am going to comment that. So don't use this. Don't send the character data into the integer kind of field. So I don't want this code. I have commented that code, guys. Execute now, execute now, and execute. So exactly, so now, so this is my uh, this is my the arithmetic operations. So maybe I would like to print something, guys. So here I need to print here. So before the value, I need to print addition of two numbers. Okay, addition of two numbers equal to the x plus y z. I need to print like this. What is the addition of two numbers? What kind of data it is? Character only. It's even it's what I am doing here, I am doing an hard coding. If you hard code the text, or if you hard code the letters, literals, where you need to put, yeah, you need to use in a single quotes case. So that's the concept. Now you can see addition of two numbers is the z, guys. Maybe I need to put in a comma here. What happened? Addition of two numbers z, addition of two numbers z. Okay, If you use two things, you need to group together, guys. That's the thing. So you are printing two things, two you are outputting, so you need to group together. So that's why you need to use a colon. If it is in a single, no problem, but you are doing in a two things, you are grouping together into single statement. That's why you need to use a column symbol, guys. Maybe if when you print more, you need to use a column. And maybe now I can use what you can write here, guys. So second output is a subtraction of two numbers. Okay, group together, and that's it, guys. And same thing, and group colon, and before printing this, and multiplication of two numbers, keep this and comma, guys, and a division of two numbers, and group division of two numbers, comma, guys, and save, and pretty printer into the syntax. So activate and execute. Now you can see a very, so this is the output of the things, guys. Maybe if you want to apply the colors also, you can apply some color here and apply some color here. You can do the format color, you can use it, and maybe we will apply the colors. So format color, and maybe put 3 and close it. Format color off, and here also I can use format color and 5, apply the color and close the color. Format color off, and format color 6, and format color off, and format color 4, format color off, and control save, control F2, and color off is not valid. Oh, I think it's 0. Oh, yes. Control S, control F2, control F3, and I activate, and F8, and you can see actually there is a breakpoint. That's why it's going to the hang. System is hanged. So you can see the colors on the output, guys. Just we have seen the some of the processing logic. So what we are doing, guys, this is a little processing logic we are doing, and we are doing an output, guys, everything. So the ABAP or any programming language runs. See, so we have an output. We did some kind of processing logic with the data objects, with the arithmetic operations, right? And so more processing logic we do. From tomorrow we do the more processing logic, and how exactly we can do the processing logic more step by step. We have seen outputs. We are doing some kind of processing logic. We have a lot of processing knowledge, processing logic we have. So that we are going to learn. Then we see the inputs. See what we are doing here. If any values, we are doing an hard coded values. I don't want to hard code. I need to input these values. Now I would like to addition 5 and 6, and next I would like to do an addition of 8 and 9. So is it possible if I execute this program? No, always the values are 5 and 6. But how can you provide in a dynamic numbers? How can you do an arithmetic operations? Whatever the number, if you want to do, you have to do an arithmetic operations case. How you can do that? How can you avoid that? So if you want to achieve those, if you don't want to hard code, what I can do, I will keep x and y in the inputs. In the input, I will enter this time 5 6, tomorrow 7 8, later 9 10, 12 13, whatever the number you want, you are going to do it, guys. So step by step we see inputs, and also now we are doing the data processing logic in the above program level, and we are going to see the database concepts, what exactly the database concepts and all. Okay, step by step we are going to learn. So the small things we are learning it, and so this is the program for the today's class, and you can practice, and you have to practice the program with a debugger, guys. Okay, without a debugging you don't get anything. thing, guys. You don't get anything. This is the program which we have developed in today's class. Control A. So I don't want this much. Trim. That's it. Okay, that's it. 30 lines and control C. Even I'm giving it in the PPT, and also so this PPT I will upload in the WhatsApp, guys. So you can take those PPTs on the daily basis. I'm going. Okay, you can use this and you can practice the program with the debugging mode. Okay, you have to practice this with the debug. If you execute, you will not get anything. You will get an output, but you will not get anything. Okay, you see the output, you will go to the home. That's it. But if you do the program with the debugging mode, it's very good, guys. That's it. And so see you tomorrow, and we are going to have the class regularly. What exactly? No, right? So uh, so that's it for today, guys. And do you have any questions? Okay, next question. Yeah, see the screen where it is. So this is my calculated value. This is my addition value, and this is my text. Okay, I'm printing the text and also the value. Uh, oh, this one, right? See, but this will not be executed. It's not ABAP code. It's my own code, my text. So it's why I did like this. So if you see the code here, I am doing an additional functionality. If you see here I am doing a subtraction functionality. It gives the some notes to you guys. So it's not a ABAP code. It's in my own text, my English text, and which is not a code, ABAP code. That's why you need to comment the code, guys. So it provides some notes, guys, notes kind of stuff. Okay, suppose if you are writing some complex logic. Okay, when you write the complex logic, you will write and you will go from the office, and some other developer comes. If some other developer comes, he doesn't understand what exactly that code. So for that purpose, what I will do, so this is an additional functionality. So I am processing the logic from one internal table to that another internal table, or from one data object to the another data object. Based on this logic, based on these conditions, I will write my English text and I will comment it. So once another developer comes, then he will see that okay, he's doing this functionality. So yeah, notes kind of same. This is also I have provided a notes to you. So here I am doing an addition functionality. Okay, so it's if you don't want to execute this kind of things, we use the star. We are going to comment that code, guys. Okay. uh, Correct, special characters. Yeah, it's your own, it's your own choice, guys. This naming is your own choice. Let's take an example. I will take this out, Wasim. Okay, I will change this to the just it's a name. The name should be an Wasim. So you can put any name for the data object. It's your choice, but this one is it's a name predefined things, guys. If you put Wasim, so is the Wasim data object is available in ABAP? No, right? So Something you can do whatever you want, but you have to use the same data object. If you want to store the value, you need to use the same data objects. It's in a freestyle. It's a fancy data object name. Whatever the name you would like to keep, you can keep it. But the data object you need to, suppose if you want to say my name is Shiva, you need to use the Wasim as a data object. Okay, it's in a your name. Don't think that the results, because I put result, that's why it's taking the result. No, whatever the name you put or whatever the name you keep, it's your choice. It's a fancy name. You can put whatever you want, but you have to use that data object to store the character value. So that's the meaning. Uh, mm. 40 is the length. Length means, see, this total string is having some length, right? So here what is the length of this? It's almost 1 2 space 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18, right? So here 18, this total length is 18, but I give in a 40. Yes, we can store the 16 in the 40. But next I will give Venkata Shiva. My name is also big name, guys. Venkata Shiva Rama Krishna. Okay. So see, if you calculate from year, it's an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Uh, okay. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So the length 3 is exceeding here. So it will print around until Krish. It will print it, guys. Maybe I will print that Vasi. Maybe see. So it's a data objects. Don't worry on that. Right. And it's a name. I put a name Wasim. It's not a Wasim, guys. It's not your name. Wasim is in a data object. But inside your data object, I have stored my name is Venkata Shivarama Krishna, guys. So that's a fancy name. Whatever you, simple concept. What you write, what you get. That's a simple. You write in a data object Wasim. Inside what you pass the value, that value you are going to get it. You are not going to get it in a Wasim under here, guys. It's a name is not a problem. It's a fancy, it's your choice. And that name you are going to use for your data manipulations and data processing purpose. We are going to use it. Maybe somewhere I did result. Okay. And the final I print and I Wasim, guys. See, and execute now and execute. See, and until Krish it is printing. So 40 is length, which is not enough for my name, guys. Okay. So this is the object is, it's in a fancy name. You can use it. Whatever you want, you need to use it, and you have to use that data object for any printing or any further processing. You need to use it. Yeah. So the length is the how much length you can provide for that data object. That's a length, guys. Okay, so we'll see tomorrow what exactly the date type, what exactly the time, and that's it. And we'll go. We are using any single variables here, and now we will, if we combine some other variables, what is it? What is the concept? And also, if you want to store multiple records, what is the concept? We are going to use it, and so that kind of things, step by step, we are going to learn it. So these are fundamentals only, and you need to understand what exactly the data type and what is the data object and what is the length and what is the processing logic, what is the assignment operators, and how can you print the values on the screen, and how can you apply the colors, and how can you do the debugging step by step. So debugging question, your question. So what is your question in terms of debugging? Tell me. Okay. I put the breakpoint at 23rd. Okay. Static breakpoint. Yes, I'll write a static breakpoint. Yes. Now tell me. Yeah. So if I don't remove, what will happen? You see, execute. Every time your program debugger starts from here, right? But I would like to do a breakpoint from here. So every time here, guys, my code is only 39 lines, but in the real time, I have 2000 lines of code. Let's take an example. Suppose if I put in a static breakpoint, I always do the debugging from the 12th line, and which is unnecessarily I need to do like this, right? Wherever I want, I need to keep a breakpoint. Wherever I would like to start my debugging, from that point I need to start the debugging. So in that case, if you write the code, it will always stops here. And now I will restart the debugging and change, and maybe just I'm assuming this is my line of in I have 2000 lines of code. Just assume, okay, I am in the line of 990. Okay, this is my, don't see this, this is the code which is there in the 990. Okay, it should be in active mode. So let's assume I have a 2000 lines of code. I'm in the line of 920. I have an issue. So from there I need to do debugging. So I will place in a cursor. I will put in a breakpoint. Maybe I will delete this breakpoint as well. So execute now. So it goes to the 1900th line, guys. So just assume we do not have that much lines. But advantage is it will go wherever you want to stop. There I can stop it, guys. Okay, if you write the code again, you need to remove, you need to put, you need to remove, you need to put the code level, you need to do it right. Instead of writing the code and deleting the code wherever you want, it's a time waste. Just one line wherever you want, keep the breakpoint. So that's in a dynamic breakpoint. Maybe guys, in the runtime also I can put the dynamic breakpoints. That's one more advantage of the dynamic breakpoints. Maybe I would like to put here, see, I can put in a dynamic breakpoint at runtime execution also. I can keep it. If it is a static, can you keep it? No, right? So that's the difference between static breakpoint and the one breakpoint. Yeah. So, but dynamic, maybe we can stop the program wherever we want, and also in the program runtime execution also we can keep the dynamic breakpoints. So that's a dynamic breaking concept, guys. So that's it for today. And any more questions? Can we? Yes, yes, we will do, not now. So that's a different, not looping of the types. It's a looping of the data. So how you can loop the data? So that's the looping concept is there. Yes, the concepts will be there in everywhere, in every language. Okay, looping conditions, casings. Okay, everywhere it will be there. The way you write in C, the way you write in C++, the way you write in Java, the way you write in SQL script, the way you write in the JavaScript is different, but the concepts are same, guys. The object orientation is there in everywhere. Here also we have an object orientation. Okay, so the concepts will be same, but the way you write the code is the different, guys. Okay. Huh? Okay, static breakpoints or dynamic breakpoints? That's here. So some share now, I don't want to call that word, but so that kind of things you need to do in a trial and error. Put a breakpoint, don't give me the exercise. Okay, take the exercise yourself and you tell me how many breakpoints I can keep it. Okay, so you are giving the exercise to me, please don't give, and you take the exercise, you put the breakpoints and tell me how many, then I can put it in the key, I will keep it in the PPT, guys. Okay, this kind of questions are not the proper questions, sorry. Okay, if you have interest, then you can try yourself, take the code and try to put the breakpoints, do the syntax check, you will get it right. Maybe so that's okay. Control C. Okay, I'm keeping for you. How many? Shit. Okay. Star. Control F. Replace. Control C. I'm giving 130 breakpoints. Okay. Okay, save. Do the see this occurs. Okay. Uh, uh, Control F. Replace point. This. So there is no limitation. It is accepted almost. 13, 119, 106, and do huh? It will accept, guys. Do and do the syntax check. No syntax errors. 200 breakpoints. Maybe put the breakpoint. Dynamic breakpoints I'm keeping now. So these are dynamic breakpoints. It's not a static breakpoints. And every line I keep the breakpoint. Wherever the line is there. Okay. Execute. Every breakpoint it will stop. Right? It will go to the every breakpoint. Maybe now I'll try to keep the breakpoint. See guys, unlimited. You can only create 30 breakpoints, guys. Dynamic breakpoints, the limitation is 30, not the static. So dynamic means you can see now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So approximately the 20. So maybe 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So maybe the dynamic breakpoints, it's not accepting now. See, so the dynamic breakpoint, it's not the maximum dynamic breakpoints. The limitation for the maximum, not the static, dynamic breakpoints, which are equal to 30, guys. Maybe. So this is all you need to try, guys. You have to try. So no need to remember these kind of things. So when you try to put in a breakpoints in a big 10,000, 20,000 lines of code, maybe you are putting breakpoint, you are doing some debugging. Or sometimes whenever it is a 30, you are going to get this error. So normally, so it's in a rare cases only you are going to do this kind of things. Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you all. And any questions we'll ask tomorrow, please ask. We'll answer the questions. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.